Hi everyone, today's video we have had a bit of a disaster with a tractor. It's fixable and we just got to get the parts and get it fixed. So it's the old 165 and Dad was putting in a bale with it this morning and he's going backwards and the wheel fell off. So it's a front wheel and what's happened is the spindle has snapped off, so it's actually broken right off there. So we'll get it apart and have a closer look at it. I've not ordered the parts yet. There's a few variations, so I'm gonna take it off in a minute and I'll show you that in a minute when I've taken it apart. And yeah, take it apart, measure it so we can order the right one. And yeah, so we'll order obviously a new set of bearings, new hub and new spindle. So yes, and yeah, it was out by the cattle shed and when it fell off, and here's the wheel. So yeah, so we had to get it in because obviously that part was down on the road, or on the, well, not on the road but on the lane, and yeah, so we had to get it in. And what we did was we jacked it up and drove a wedge in this side, and then we were able to drive it in then on three wheels. So you know, it's at least we were able to get it moved out of the way and get it in here so we can work on it. So yeah, so I'll get that taken apart in a minute and then I'll show you it when I've taken it apart. I've got to measure it and then order up the parts. Unfortunately it's Saturday today, so I'm not going to be able to get the parts here till Tuesday, which is a bit annoying, but here's what it is. This is why we've got two loader tractors, and you know, we sort of always intend using this tractor to do sort of the feeding up because it's handy to get on and off quick, and it goes in all the muck and it doesn't matter. But we got the other tractor with a loader on as a backup, so obviously that does all the heavier loader work in the summer, like wrapping and stacking and all that sort of stuff and carrying all the bales. But this one sort of does all the feeding in the winter, so like I say, it's just having a backup. You know, we'd be knackered now if we didn't have a loader tractor tomorrow to feed the cattle. So you know, it's not ideal having to use the other one, but it's here, and that's why we, like I say, that's why we've got two loaders. So we will be able to feed up in the morning. Right, I'm going to get it taken apart. Right, so we've got it all apart. It came apart easily, and yeah, so there's the steering arm and steering joints. That was basically undo the bolt out of there, knock out that key there, yeah, knock out that key, and it dropped out. So gonna order new brass bushes for the top and bottom because they do that as a kit, and the bearing that goes in the bottom of there. And yeah, it's all available, and it's not silly money really. So I'm going to get all that. I've checked it out and we've measured it up to make sure that we've got the right part or the right size. So I'm using phone here, it was torch, but yeah, so you can see what's happened here. Let's just sheared off. So it's been sort of partially cracked for quite a while by the look of it. So yeah, it looks terrible and looks like a complete disaster, but it's an easy fix really. And yeah, so I've got to get the parts ordered up. We're going to order one for this side as well. So we'll replace that one. Probably won't do it straight away, but get the bit ordered up so we can replace both sides then, and then hopefully it won't happen again. But yeah, it could be worse. And you know, we've got the other tractor here to be able to do the work. So we always use the fork on it So we carry the corn around on we put a platform on the fork and we carry the corn around on that, and then we can load the straw chopper with it and everything else. So this tractor has been on straw chopper duties for the last sort of 4 or 5 days, and because we had the fertilizer spreader on, so we've unhitched that now, and the other tractor's back hitched up to the straw chopper, so this one can do loader work. So right, anyway, I'm going to get those parts ordered up, and the end of this video we'll be putting it back together hopefully, and we'll be up and running. But Saturday today, I said earlier on, but yes, yeah, so not going to be able to get the parts here till Tuesday, but hopefully they'll come and it'll be alright. Right, so it's Tuesday today, and we've got all the bits for the tractor, and we've got the new spindle put in, and I didn't film putting it in, but we've replaced like the bearing in here and everything, and we've got new wheel bearing to put on in a minute, and all the bits, so that's good. And it all came from AgriLine, all the parts, and it's all good that it's all available and it isn't silly money. So we had seal kit for here with a bearing and bushes for in there. I had to buy the castle nuts separately. What else did we have? We had a new wheel bearing, new hub, which is there. So the hub came with new studs, or bolts they call them, and a new hubcap. But on the website it's not all that clear, and I ended up buying another hubcap to go with it, which was it's not expensive. It's like £3.50. So I've ended up with like an extra hubcap for this hub, because it doesn't say on the website clearly that it's available. So I ordered it on Saturday night, so it would be dispatched on Monday morning, so it was here next day delivery. And the delivery service was good, and AgriLink are good because they got all the bits. So, and it's, like I say, it's not expensive. So everything we've got, so it's all completely renewed, is I think it worked out £102 per side. So we've ordered for both sides, so we aren't going to do the other side for a minute, but just to get it back up and running, we're just getting this side fixed, but we have got the bits for the other side. So it's £202 plus VAT for all the bits, which is brilliant really. And I know they're not genuine parts, but then, and it's just the fact that you can get all the parts for this tractor is brilliant, because this tractor now is 49 years old this year. This is 1976. It was a late 165. So yeah, so I think it's brilliant that you can get the bits for it. Right, let's get the wheel bearing on, or the hub and wheel bearings, and then we'll get the wheel back on. There we are, it's all back on now. I haven't put the hub cap on. We'll do that in a minute when the wheel's on, so it'll be easier when the weight's on it, so it doesn't turn. And yeah, it's all back together and looking alright. So yeah, it took just over an hour to do it all and get it up to this far. If you were doing it every day, you'd probably do it in half the time, but I'm quite pleased with what we've done, and just got to pack it all with grease and give grease that one there, and grease this one as well, and then in a couple of days we'll check the bearing to make sure it's all still tight. So it's turning nicely there now. It's not really easily turning because I've sort of done it up just snug, because it probably, when it beds in a bit, it'll go. So like I say, we'll check it again in a couple of days. We'll get the wheel on, and I'll show you it moving in a minute. Grease the top one here, and grease has come out, so all greased up and back together and working again. Lives to fight another day. Good, right, just thought I'd show you that and what we had to do. And like I said just now, it's brilliant that Agri Line, there's others as well that do it, that you can get all these bits, because you know, you can see why so many of these tractors have been exported out to sort of like Asian countries, because anyone can work on them, and that sort of proves it with us, because we're not trained mechanics, but it's just basic engineering. So that's why they want these tractors, and I suppose that's why you can still get all the bits, because there's so many of these sort of tractors about all over the world. So yeah, that's good. It's all fixed and back together, and hope you enjoyed that. Remember to like the videos and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with another video soon.